I set my background to a slate black. It's distraction free and I try to keep this space as clean as possible. Every time I open my MacBook Pro, I am greeted with this empty void, but it's kind of calming. My dock is hidden and I only keep the apps that I need and use frequently on the side. I keep the menu bar at the top hidden because I don't always need it and it helps to eliminate distractions further. My computer is set to dark mode and I've tried to make my Finder window as minimal as possible as well. Once again, I'm trying to eliminate distractions, so I got rid of the top toolbar and I only have these 4 favorites that I frequent. I would also suggest clicking Always Open in List View, Browse in List View, and calculating all sizes for any Finder windows that you open. I use Safari because it's optimized for the Mac. Once again, in dark mode, once I open this new page, you'll notice absolutely nothing. An empty page opens, no home page, no bookmarks, no favorites. I got rid of all the buttons on the top except for Search and New Tab. No back. If I need to go back, I can just use a gesture on the mouse. At one point I did have bookmarks where I would have my frequently visited sites, and I found that I would just click them because I saw them and it was super convenient to just open a bunch of tabs. But now I have to actually think about what websites I need to go to, and I do way less browsing, and I think it's just made a more distraction-free experience. I've tried a couple different ways of keeping passwords, but I found that Apple's keychain option is probably the best, but everything should be protected behind a strong 16-digit character password that you memorize using this Remember Your Password scheme. And don't write it down, just remember it and use that to access all of your other passwords. I take all of my notes digitally and store them in the cloud between all of my Apple devices, which is very convenient. And I also have a fingerprint protected information note that just has all of my personal information and details. I use Photoshop to edit and fix photos, as well as create any thumbnails or illustrate anything I need. And that is $130 a year. This is an app subscription that I'm trying to get rid of, but honestly, I can't really find any good alternatives for free, so I'm just gonna keep using Photoshop for now. I use Apple's Final Cut Pro 10 to edit videos. That was a one-time fee of $300 for the app. And I have a single library locally saved in the movie folder. And once I made this like a very long time ago, years ago, and I just start all new projects within that single library. I don't edit projects on other computers because this is the only computer I use, and I keep things very, very simple. If I'm starting a new project, I create an event within this single library, and I copy all of my footage to the hard drive by copying to library. I do keep an asset folder with 3 things: film grain, letterboxing, and an end screen card. I only use one of 3 custom destinations: a master file for creating a file onto my desktop. I export directly and upload to YouTube from Final Cut, which makes it very easy. And I have a save current frame to make stills or just to pull frames from the video. All of my uploaded video exports are archived on Google's YouTube servers. I can download these at any time, and I feel pretty confident that they are safe in Google's hands, at least for what I need them to be. Once I finish a project, I just delete the event from Final Cut directly here, and that deletes all the footage, and I just don't need it anymore. I keep as much free space on my Mac to fit large video projects as they happen. I've had projects before that have almost nearly filled up this 1 terabyte hard drive. So right now I'm obviously not working on any projects, so my computer is pretty free right now. And because of this large space, I do not need any other external hard drives for video editing or anything else in general. Occasionally, it doesn't free up too much free space, but it is smart to delete these Final Cut backups for projects that I'm not working on anymore. Whenever I need to record my MacBook Pro's screen, I use QuickTime Player. Instead of just keeping my financial, tax, and agreement documents stored locally on this computer, I put them organized by year into a Google Drive. and this is synced with the cloud. So I have access to these documents anywhere with an internet connection. I have plenty of free space with my free 19 gigabytes, so I'm going to keep using Google Drive and Gmail to store my data in the cloud. I use Gmail, and I treat my inbox as a to-do list, so as I complete tasks or respond to conversations, I move them from here into the all mail folder if I want to keep them. Otherwise, I trash them, and I'm very aggressive with unsubscribing from newsletters, so I don't get too many emails, and when I do, I complete them whenever I can to keep this as free as possible. Other than my Gmail address, I have an iCloud which forwards to this account, and email in general is something that I would like to check every so often, so I'm actually thinking about taking it off of my iPhone and making it a task that I check maybe once a day or every other day. I use Google Photos to back up and store every photo I've ever taken with my phone, with my camera, screenshots, even little video snippets taken from Instagram stories. It's free and unlimited because I'm allowing some compression, and of course Google is using that data for its own purposes, good or bad. We'll talk about that in the data and privacy section, but it's just the positives, the benefits of this is just too great to pass up, I guess. I use Spotify for music, which is $10 a month. I use Audible on my phone, which is $15 a month. For banking, I use Chase Business and personal checking accounts. For bookkeeping, I use QuickBooks Self-Employed. And on my phone, I have a black background, similar to my desktop, a single page with no folders, and you'll notice no Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube social media apps. Notifications and badges are turned off, and I want to, in general, use my phone less. So you might be thinking this is a bit ridiculous, and how would you even start if you wanted to move towards this at all? I would recommend trying a clean slate, because I believe that the first step to keeping a computer organized is to always know exactly what is on your computer. And ask yourself, do you know what's on your computer, where, how much space it's taking up, or how long it would take for you to back it up? So give it a try. Back up all of your files and do a factory reset on your computer to start with a clean slate. Move those files back, and hopefully from there on, you develop some kind of organization system for knowing where your documents are, where you keep your photos, how you keep your financial records, etc. And on the subject of privacy and data, yes, I'm starting to realize just how important maintaining privacy and ownership of your own data is. The wonderful benefits that we get from the big four tech companies like Google, Facebook, Apple, Amazon are nothing compared to the value that they receive from our data. Google especially harvests data about our location, transactions, relationships, search preferences, everything. They're quickly gaining the ability to anticipate our decisions, and then it's a short road to complete manipulation. Ownership of data will become more important in the future, and right now, we're kind of just giving it away without a care, just by using their services. As I learn and read from authors much more knowledgeable than myself, I've been taking cohesive notes and sometimes rereading entire books. So, I'm starting some sort of a book review series that will tackle topics that I care about and ones that I think you should know about, and I'd like you to be the first to hear about it here, now. Look for these videos publishing on this channel and audio versions that are longer, more conversational on my podcast soon. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace, the best place to build a beautiful website online. I use my website, craigadams.com, to share the gear that I use to create my work. Squarespace templates make it quick and easy to customize your site into whatever you want it to do. I'm able to update items as they change and keep everyone coming back to see what I recommend. I was able to make a website that's minimal yet offers value. Every filmmaker should have a website, and Squarespace makes it possible. Visit squarespace.com/craigadams or click the link in the description below for 10% off your next purchase. Thank you, Squarespace, and thank you for watching.